Consider Drive Club and Project Gotham Racing 4. Two games with shockingly little overlap in their fan bases despite their similarities. Are you perhaps not convinced that they're similar games? Get this, both games have absolutely impeccable sound design. Take a listen. Both games have motion blur actually so good that they aid to amplify the sense of speed, and it also has the added effect of masking the two games' 30 frames per second output. Both games have decent camera shake. Both games were ahead of their respective times in visuals, especially when it comes to the reflections and the weather effects, which is what Drive Club is famous for anyway. Both have fantastic moment-to-moment gameplay. Both have bikes, but PGR takes it a step further by letting you compete against cars on a bike. And most importantly, both games are dead. Both games have a surprising number of similarities. You could even be fooled into thinking that Evolution Studios were inspired by PGR4 that came out 7 years prior to Drive Club's release, even if it may not actually be the case. There is, however, one key difference between the two I am eager to discuss. For the purposes of this video, the chase cam is one of the few fields where these two games diverge completely. Instead of describing their chase cams, I'd rather have you watch the following clips, sources for which will be in the description. Right off the bat, you can tell that Project Gotham Racing 4 goes for a loose chase cam, whereas Drive Club goes for a stiff one with an asterisk. The chase cam in PGR4 feels like it's gently tethered to the car. It shifts with inertia and subtly trails behind during cornering or even drifts, as if it were a trailer with a camera being towed by the car. Drive Club, on the other hand, most of the time has a chase cam that feels like it's bolted straight onto the car. It has hardly any shifts with inertia during cornering. It's stubbornly centered behind the car most of the time because its chase cam actually gets worse still. I say most of the time because in the very clip I've shown, it is also seen that when you push the car beyond a certain angle while cornering, that is when the chase camera suddenly breaks its rules and does show the side quarter view of the car, but awkwardly and suddenly. It doesn't gracefully follow the car's rotation. Instead, it snaps as if it's trying to catch up with the car's rotation mid-corner, and it's jarring. You can very clearly see the imaginary threshold the car has to cross for the chase cam to loosen up and show a little bit of the car's side. And I don't know about you, but I personally hate it. Gran Turismo 7 is perhaps the most infamous recent example of a top-dog racing game with a stiff chase cam. This stiff chase cam trend in Gran Turismo has begun since Gran Turismo 4, the most beloved game in the franchise. As good as GT4 was, it evidently also ruined some things for good. Similar to GT Sport, GT7 does have a setting in-game that should allow you to loosen the chase cam up a bit. Should. While the setting did make a noticeable, albeit minor improvement in GT Sport, it makes almost none in GT7 to this very day. And thanks to Polyphony Digital's stellar track record of listening to its player base, GT7's chase cam isn't going to get fixed anytime soon. It gets funnier still. Gran Turismo 7's chase camera is so bad that you can literally actually block your view of your own car with the barriers and walls of the Tokyo Expressway, as shown in this drift tutorial video. Silence GT3 like chase cam mod for GT4 single handedly fixes that game for me personally. Gran Turismo 4 is hard to play through all over again these days without mods in general, but the one mod that makes or breaks it for me is Silent's excellent chase cam mod. I was hoping GT7 could someday be modded the same way, but unfortunately it's on consoles only and it's also an online only game, which would make modding next to impossible anyway. There were rumors about a potential PC port, but rumor also has it that it has since been cancelled. Despite as bad as GT7's stubbornly stiff chase cam may be, I think I still prefer to Drive Club's chase cam that is only stiff until a certain angle. I think it's only fair to highlight some loose slash free flowing chase cams I'm very much not a fan of. Need for Speed Most Wanted is one of the most famous racing games on planet Earth, with fanboys on social media begging for a remaster under any post Need for Speed related. I think this game has one of the most famous examples of a type of loose chase cam I am very much not a fan of. Let me explain. At high speeds, the chase camera is fine. The chase camera is flowy even. But at low speeds or when slowing down right before a turn, the camera rocks back and forth. It's a variable distance chase cam that is designed to get further away as the speed picks up and get closer to the car as the car slows down. Nothing inherently wrong in and of itself. Most Wanted just so happened to be a sloppy example of it. Another free flowing chase cam that I feel misses the mark is Grid Legends. Grid Legends chase cam does this where when you're changing gears, the camera shifts a little along with it as a form of visual feedback. Novel idea, but it feels disorienting in execution. I think it's very telling that a mod for a Need for Speed game does this subtle camera shift so much better than Grid Legends does. I hate Grid Legends chase camera so much, even though I should like it on paper since it isn't so stiff, that I played through most of the game in bumper cam mode and never looked back. If I were to rank various types of chase cams, the best type of chase cam would be something like PGR Force. A very distant second would be something like Need for Speed Most Wanted's or Grid Legends. Third would be GT7's stubbornly stiff chase cam that's stiff all the time. And in last place would be Drive Club's chase cam that's only stiff until a certain angle. Throughout this entire video, I have only been focusing on my chase cam preferences, and I like to believe that there are no benefits to stiff chase cam that certain racing games tend to have. But if you're the type of person that does actively prefer a stiff chase cam, there is no denying an option to change the chase camera speed would be better, an actual working option. Funnily enough, a certain low poly indie racing game made by just one person has exactly what we're looking for. Art of Rally has a separate camera settings category where you can actually change the chase camera speed to a value between 10% to infinite percent, and it actually works. Infinite is GT7 like stiff, and something around 80% is what I like. Pair this chase cam speed setting with the famous extra perspective mod for Art of Rally, and you got yourself a perfect representation of how a racing game with a good chase cam speed setting looks like.